Take a moment and look at a map of the world. It's something most of us have seen thousands of times in classrooms, textbooks, weather reports, and news broadcasts. At first glance, it seems completely familiar. Europe looks large and central. Greenland appears enormous, and Africa sits below them, stretching across the middle of the map. Nothing about it seems unusual. But if you look a little closer, something strange begins to appear. Because the map we trust the most, the one printed in classrooms and used around the world, is quietly misleading us. Let's start with something simple. On most world maps, Greenland looks almost as large as Africa. Side by side, the two shapes appear surprisingly similar in size. In fact, at a glance, Greenland sometimes even looks larger. But the reality is completely different. Africa is enormous. You could fit the United States inside it, China inside it, India inside it, and still have room left over. In fact, Africa is about 14 times larger than Greenland. So if that's true, why does the map make them look so similar? The answer has less to do with geography and more to do with how maps are made. The Earth, of course, is not flat. It's a sphere, a three-dimensional surface. And the moment you try to represent that sphere on a flat piece of paper, a problem appears. Imagine trying to flatten the peel of an orange. You can press it down, stretch it, or cut it into pieces, but no matter what you do, the shape begins to distort. Some parts stretch, some parts shrink, some parts tear apart. Maps face the same challenge. When cartographers transform the globe into a rectangle, they have to stretch parts of the planet. And those distortions grow larger the farther you move from the equator. The map most of us are familiar with is called the Mercator projection. It was created in 1569 by a Flemish cartographer named Gerardus Mercator. His goal was not to create a perfectly accurate map of the world. Instead, he wanted to solve a practical problem: navigation. At sea, sailors needed a map where straight lines represented constant compass directions. The Mercator projection did this perfectly. A ship could draw a straight line across the map and follow that exact direction across the ocean. For sailors in the 16th century, this was revolutionary. But it came with a cost. To preserve those straight navigation lines, the map had to stretch land near the poles. And that stretching is what makes Greenland look enormous, while continents closer to the equator appear smaller than they really are. The problem is that most of us no longer use maps for sailing across oceans. We use them to understand the world. And when a map exaggerates the size of some places while shrinking others, it subtly shapes how we perceive geography. Countries in the northern hemisphere appear larger and more dominant. Regions near the equator, including Africa and South America, often appear smaller than they truly are. The map isn't intentionally deceptive, but it does influence how we imagine the world. Maps are powerful tools. They help us navigate oceans, explore continents, and understand our planet. But they are not perfect reflections of reality. Every map is a compromise, a way of translating a round world onto a flat surface. And once you understand that, something interesting happens. The next time you look at a world map, you might start seeing it a little differently.